So my question was, I met a girl a few weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and she really, really liked me, and she was really, really into me. And of course, I was continuously healing. Then, when we decided to meet 1 or 2 weeks after that, she didn't want to. She didn't want to anymore. She lost interest, and I also lost interest in her. When I saw her, she didn't look as exciting and pretty as first when I first saw her, and I just knew it's because I've continuously released emotional charge during those 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
My stuff unhealed. So I saw the same process in her. Is that so? That our partners leave us? I think you've talked about that before.
Well, I think I told you once before that whenever I work with a couple, I always tell them that one of two things can happen. Either by your changing, they will have to change as well, and they'll change to meet the new you because they're no longer getting the same reaction that they were getting beforehand, which is, in essence, partly what they were looking for. But if they still want to make this relationship work, they're going to have to change the way they interact with you to get different reactions now because you're going to be giving them different reactions. The other possibility is that the spouse or the other partner is going to just leave because it's no longer a match. You're on different planes now. Beforehand, you're on the same plane, so you connected. Now you're on different planes, whichever way it is. I couldn't say which one's higher, which one's lower, although probably if you're healing, you're the one who's becoming on a higher level. And so you're no longer the same plane. You no longer meet anymore. You no longer match.
That's right.
And
That's right.
the other partner will also feel that, not just you. It's a two-way thing.
They will feel that I have changed.
Exactly. And they will feel that you are no longer what they were necessarily looking for because you're not on their plate. You're not on your disc anymore. If you're using the terms of Abraham Hicks, you're not on the
Yeah,
same flying disc. You might be already over here on this high flying disc while they're only over here. So you no longer meet.
that's right.
You can only meet if you're giving off the same type of vibration.
That's right. Because I got a completely different reaction from her when I met her again, and I felt completely different towards her when I met her again.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's easy to measure when you have met someone first and then you meet them again after you've healed and see how different the reactions are.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the sparks stop flying around certain types of people, certain types of women. You know
Right.
what I mean? Sparks fly.
Yeah.
There's no longer, because I've healed past them.
Right. Right. Right.
So maybe the next question would be, um, this was a funny thought I had. That I have a feeling of superiority the more I heal. That I come from a higher or more healed place when I meet people that used to have power over me before I began healing. And I see that they have no power over me anymore. It's kind of a very satisfying feeling to see that. Is that related to the first question, or do you want to elaborate on that?
It's definitely related to this first question. I would not necessarily look at it as a feeling of superiority. It would be, I would call it more a feeling of I am no longer dealing with those issues that they're dealing with. My issues are different. I don't know whether they're higher or lower is really irrelevant. They're just different issues that I'm dealing with right now. I'm in a totally different place from where they are. Because in life in general, you're going to have ups and downs and ups and downs. That's part of life. The only time you're going to stop having that is after you're dead.
Yeah,
Okay? So the fact that you're not dealing with the same issues that they're dealing does not necessarily make you superior to them. It just puts you in a different place than from where they are. Now, sometimes you might get this feeling when you're in that, real high, feeling peaceful, feeling good, feeling happy feeling. But even then, it's not that you're feeling superior. It's that you're feeling in alignment with yourself, with that source that's inside of you, with that, with the good feeling, with the good being. Okay, you don't. When I get into that place, I don't get into a feeling of I'm superior than they are. I'm better than they am. What I get the feeling of is I feel at peace with myself. I feel good within myself
yeah,
just the way that I am. And I might say, yeah, what I might say is I wish upon them that they feel that way too if they don't feel that way. But I couldn't say that I feel like I'm superior than they are. I'm better than they are. See what I'm saying? You should veer away from comparing yourself with others. Comparing yourself with others is very dangerous because it becomes unconditional. Okay? It's only if I'm superior to them do I feel good. But that's not the way it should be. Do you understand?
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah, when I said superiority, I meant kind of a re-acknowledgement of the peacefulness or the good place that I am, because they're a good reference point. They remind me of how I was before.
Okay, but what you should strive to is not the point of having them as a reference point to where you were. It's just feeling within yourself that good feeling. You don't need to reference yourself with anybody else. You just have to know that I'm in a good place. I'm feeling good within myself. I feel I love myself unconditionally, regardless of what's going on around me, regardless of if there's someone who's a higher level than I am, regardless of someone in the lower level than I am. I feel in a good place myself. Because there is no higher or lower in terms of that. It's only you in terms of you. And you don't really know what's going on inside of them. It's only seen through your perspective, through your filters. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's right.
You could say, I feel in a better place now than I felt then. But to measure it against what they're feeling, you can't really do that. Unless you're in their shoes and feeling what they're feeling.
That's right.
And if there's one thing that I've learned throughout life, is never judge someone by their outer looks, because you have no idea what's going on inside of them. No idea.
That's right.
The only thing that you can say is if they are meeting with you and you are in alignment with each other, what that means is that you're probably in the same good place or same bad place, as the case might be. But in terms of you at this point, it's the same good place because you're moving higher and higher to be in a better place. So if someone comes and meets with you in that place, it means you're in the same vibrational level at that point.
Okay. That's right. Okay. Interesting. Thank you. And so the next question is the smile. That was yesterday's question. The smile breaks the trance.
Right.
When we're in a down, we're near a negative bad trance, and we just begin smiling.
Okay, so let's do the demonstration again. I want you to go to a place where you feel really, really good. Think of a time that you felt really good, okay? That nothing could take you down because you felt so good inside yourself. And I want you to sit like you sat then. I want you to hold your head the way you held then. I want you to breathe the way that you were breathing then. I want you to, facial expression, the same facial expression that you had then. And without changing anything, just think of a time that you felt bad and try to make yourself feel bad.
No, I cannot.
Okay, why? Because you're putting yourself into a physiological state of feeling good. When you're smiling, in general, what's the physiological state?
Feeling good.
So when you are feeling bad inside and you just start smiling, what you're doing is taking control of your state. And by doing...
My next follow-up question would be, the more we smile, Roberts talks about breaking all those little bitty trances. By smiling, even for a second or two at a time, just like this, we're contributing to breaking many trances.
Yeah. And the more you smile, the more you break the trance. There was a story about one woman who cured herself of cancer just by sitting and watching comedies for 3 months straight. Laughing, laughing, and laughing. Putting herself into a good place for 3 full months, and her cancer was gone. Okay, now I can't tell you the first hand this story is true or not. This is what I heard over the internet. So I take no, how do you say, no responsibility for the truth of it. But what I can say is when I sit and I watch a comedy, if I'm feeling depressed, it brings me right up to a much better level because I'm
when you
sitting
feel that.
because I'm sitting and laughing, and the laughter brings out the good hormones inside of me, good feeling hormones, and it changes my whole inner state. Right?
Okay. So because I began smiling just a few seconds at a time. I didn't even smile for minutes at a time. I just did this and then I let it go. I kind of did this regularly throughout one day. I
Mm-hmm.
maybe did this, let's say, 20 times, 30 times altogether, if you add them up. Then I just realized a few internal representations that was there that I didn't know was there was gone, and a few ideas that I really needed to get to the next level just showed up. So
Well,
obviously, that's where I noticed that even these little things, twitches that I did, caused big healing.
let me give you another tip. When you're going to speak to somebody, okay, let's say a clerk or someone in the bank or someone, wherever it is you have a clerk, a cashier, register, someone behind a cashier, and you need their help, come up to them with a big smile on your face. And you'll see a
Okay.
totally different reaction in them as when you just come up to them, with a straight face and say, "Can I please have your help?" Or "Can you please do this for me?" You come up with this big
Okay.
smile on your face, they're going to react to you much differently in a better way.
I will. Yes, it does work.
And then not
You're
only
doing
that, but try when you're walking around and you see kids on the street, give them a smile and see how many of them can resist smiling back.
that's right. Many smile back.
Okay? They're contagious. Laughter is contagious.
Laughter is contagious.
And even if no one
It
knows
is.
why they're laughing about it, doesn't make a difference. You start laughing, they start laughing, suddenly everyone's laughing, and it doesn't make a difference if no one knows what it's why they're talking about, why you're laughing.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me some insight to why, when I smiled often once, to a certain point, now it's gone because I've healed. But I felt that the more I smiled, when I stopped smiling, I had a big whoosh of negative stuff that came up.
Because you're changing your state. When you smile,
What do you mean?
you're putting yourself in a certain state and you can't feel the bad stuff. As soon as you take the smile off, you're changing your state. And then suddenly all the stuff can come in.
Okay, that's why I felt like I had a big rush of all the bad stuff together came up.
And you'll probably notice, I don't know if you did or didn't, but when all that rush of negative stuff came up, you probably slouched over a little bit more, bent your head a little bit more in a much more downtrodden position. Think about a time when you felt really awful, terrible. Turn around. Don't don't look at me. I don't want you to associate me with feeling bad.
No,
And watch how your whole physiology goes.
like this,
Right? Exactly. And when you're feeling good, how does it go?
like this.
Right? See the difference? So as soon as you take yourself out of that state, all the bad stuff can come in. When you're in that state, bad stuff can't come there.
That's right.
That's one of the
But
keys to, I would say, success in every level, being able to control your state, not allowing the outside conditions to affect you.
that's right.
Yes.
Interesting. So, what more questions do I have? um, I I wrote down the question, the problem, and I noticed that it worked. It released the problem, but it took some time. It maybe took 30 minutes, and lots of negative emotions came up.
Mm-hmm.
But when I rephrased it, and I just wrote plain, "How can I heal?" That's all I wrote. I noticed that that big emotional charge disappeared, and I just felt this big relief. Same of the when we do the spinning. Why did rephrasing make such a difference?
Because your subconscious mind is programmed to answer any question that you ask it.
Yeah.
If you ask it the right questions, you'll get the right answers. When you ask, "How can I heal?" your subconscious mind does it for you.
It healed. Healing tells the subconscious that I want to have healing. When you say release the bad emotions, you're referencing to the bad emotions.
You're creating what Esther Abraham Hicks calls the wobble. You're putting the focus already on the bad. By labeling, it has said, "How can I get rid of this bad emotion?" You're already giving power to the bad emotion. You're giving it more momentum. When you just say, "How can I heal?" you're making it more general. What she always says is that if you can't go to a place where you can make it feel positive, go general. How can I heal is much more general than how can I get rid of this bad feeling that I'm having.
Okay, let me write that down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get it. Another question is, when I began doing the technique of holding a positive thought for 17 seconds, or
Mm-hmm.
at least 4 or 5 times a day,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed a vast improvement in the quality of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because as Esther Hicks explains that, what happens after 17 or 15 seconds of holding a thought?
It brings another thought,
I,
and that brings another thought, and that brings another
yeah,
thought.
and I've never gone back after that
Right?
because it just brings me to a much better place than I was in before.
That's correct.
So I feel so much better now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so much better.
Good. Excellent.
Um, and I would like to continue to heal with you till I
Okay.
feel that I have healed all my emotional charge and fears around living without it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because I feel that I would be able to do it better when I'm at peace with living without it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think?
Do you want to live without it?
No.
So why do you want
All
to?
I need to do is hold it for 1 minute.
When you say it, what exactly is it?
Maybe for 1 minute.
But what is it when you say living without it? What is living without? What is the it that you're?
Not this technique.
Why do you want to live without it? What's wrong with smiling?
Nothing. It's great to sit down and do nothing else for 30 seconds to 1 minute and just hold a smile.
So why do you want to live without it?
I don't want to live without it.
Oh, so I'm confused. Didn't you just say that you want to get the point that you can live without it?
No, I want to release all the emotional charge that I have around it so that I'm clear on it.
Oh, okay.
There's no resistance to doing it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's fine.
So I feel that it's getting less and less for every session we have.
Good. Excellent.
Uh, I don't know if I have any more questions.
Okay. Next time, if you have more questions, you can ask more questions.
Okay, so I'm
Okay.
going to do the transfer and I'll see you soon.
Okay, it's for 2 sessions, right? Yesterday and today?
Right.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.